What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to this League Cup final preview here on Anfield Agenda. The Reds travel to Anfield South to take on Mauricio Pochettino's side on Sunday, and of course we will be hosting a watch along an hour before kickoff right here on the Anfield Agenda YouTube channel. So if you haven't joined us for a preview before, what can you expect? I'm going to go through, give you some injury updates, my score prediction and my starting 11 prediction, asking you guys to let us know your thoughts in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like, and most importantly, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So we did hear from Pep Lijnders this morning in his pre-final press conference. Basically, the gist of it was that the only players who are really in contention to come back from injury are Mohamed Salah, Darwin Núñez, and Dominic Szoboszlai. Now, of those three, Dominic Szoboszlai to me seems the most unlikely. He wasn't pictured training today, unlike Darwin and Salah. So I think they're both going to be in contention. You'll see in a moment if I think they'll both start or not. But that's where we're at. The rest of the boys will be in the coming days and weeks, and some of them after the international break. From Chelsea's perspective, they have some late fitness checks of their own to do in the likes of Thiago Silva and Chukwuemeka, but others and longer term targets will be out as well. Robert Sanchez, I believe they're going to have to do a late test on as well. So that's where we're at with who's available. But we also got to mention who is sponsoring today's League Cup final preview. It is, of course, our friends at Fantasy 5, the fantasy league game where you can win up to £5,000 every week, and it is completely free to enter. It couldn't be more straightforward to play. Pick 5 players from the 5 games selected. Each player has an expected points total, and it's your job to make selections that outperform those expected points total. Players score points based on the same system as FPL, but the bonus point system doesn't come into play here. If they all score more than their fantasy points target, you win the jackpot. And speaking of jackpots, last week we did have a jackpot winner. As you can see, Crosso with that selection of Gomez, Rodri, Højlund, Solanke and Watkins took home the £5,000 jackpot. £5,000. Now, here you can see my selection for this week. This is what I've gone for. Ollie Watkins, Kobe Mainoo, Mitoma, Rodri and Rice. That is my selection for this week's game that I think could win us the £5,000. Now, if Anfield Agenda win the £5,000, we're going to give that to charity, and we're going to have 5 of you guys help us pick those charities. Also, our friends at Fantasy 5 have gone one step further. Every one of you that signs up to play Fantasy 5 by either scanning the QR code on screen or using our link in the description, they're going to donate £1 to charity for every single one of you that signs up, which is incredibly generous of them. So don't forget, do check out Fantasy 5 by scanning the QR code on screen or using the link in the description. You must be 18 years or over to play. Please gamble responsibly, and begambleaware.org is there for all of your responsible gambling tools. So look, now that we've paid the bills, let's get stuck into the preview. Starting off with the score prediction. This one was difficult because obviously finals in themselves are usually cagey affairs, but this is what I've gone for, and you might say I'm being a bit ballsy, but who cares? It is a final. This is what I've gone for. 3-1 victory for Liverpool. Yeah, I'm going to say we're going to do it. And look, we beat them 4-1 at Anfield, and we beat them comfortably. If we have Salah and or Darwin back, I feel like we'll get the job done. So yeah, I'm going a little bit ballsy, but 3-1. I think the pressure's on Chelsea. If we score first, I think we steamroller them. If they score first, well, we know what happens when the team scores first against Liverpool. Just ask Luton Town. So that's my score prediction. Now we move across, though, to the business part of the pitch. What am I going to go for regarding team selection? We'll start off with the goalkeeper and the centre-backs, as we always like to do. So I think obviously it's going to be Caoimhín Kelleher in goal. We know that. It would have been Caoimhín even if Alisson hadn't picked up an injury. So Caoimhín Kelleher in goal. I think our strongest centre-back pairing this season is Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate. Now, of course, there is a big question. Something that hasn't been spoken about much in the media. Something that's been keeping me awake at night, if I'm being honest with you folks. What does a Virgil van Dijk trophy lift look like? Are we going to get a little something something? Are we going to get something special? We all came used to and accustomed to the Hendo Shuffle, but we've yet to see what a Virgil van Dijk trophy lift looks like. So hopefully we get to see on Sunday. But any suggestions of what you might expect, love to know in the comment section. But anyway, back to business. So yeah, Ibrahima Konate and Virgil van Dijk for me in the centre-back positions. In the full-back positions, this is what I've gone for. I think we will see Connor Bradley at right back. You could easily have put Joe Gomez in there as well, of course, but I think Conor Bradley being taken off against Luton Town with a few minutes to go gives us an indication of where Klopp was thinking. And Andy Robertson, of course, to come back on the left-hand side. I'm sure there'll be lots of people in the chat who want Joe Gomez to play at left back, and I'm not hating you. I'm not hating on it at all. But Andy Robertson, naturally left-sided, left back, left-footed, I should say, always makes me a bit more comfortable. So I'd go with Andy Robertson. Now we move into midfield, and I would say this is where it gets tricky, but in all honesty, it isn't. So this is what I've gone for. Wataru Endo, of course, to be the number 6. And then I've gone for Alexis McAllister and Ryan Gravenberch. Now, somebody did actually ask me in our live stream earlier on today, would I go with Elliott or Gravenberch in midfield? And the reason that I've gone for Gravenberch is the physicality and the height. So Alexis McAllister, Wataru Endo are two battle-hardened little pit bulls, as I like to call them, who will get the job done, will be physical, will be up in your face, will be pressing. But there's nothing wrong with having a bit of extra height and physicality in there alongside them. And I think Elliott would be probably technically a better fit. Probably give us more possession, certainly give us more... probably chances created, if I'm being honest with you. But I just think Gravenberch is the right call because I like the idea of having a little bit of height in midfield. And of course, if we need to bring on Elliott, we can do that as well. But that's my midfield trio. Wataru Endo, Alexis McAllister, and Mr. Ryan Gravenberch, apologies. Moving into the attacking areas now, and this is where you're all waiting to see, have I gone for Salah and Darwin? Well, let's start in the wide areas first. I do think we see the great man return on the right-hand side. And my thought process, I'll move on to explain a bit more clearly in a minute, but I think we'll see Salah start on the right and Lucho on the left. No real surprises there. Who starts to the centre? Well, for me, I think we will see Mr. Cody Gakpo play through the centre. Now, the reason that I think Mo will start and not Darwin is Darwin was still coming back from nursing that injury. Salah was just fatigue and tiredness. Didn't play any part, either of them, in the game against Luton Town. So I do think Salah's more likely to start. That's my thought process here. And if Darwin needs to be used off the bench, so be it. And if Darwin doesn't need to be used off the bench, by the way, if Liverpool are, let's say, 2-0 up with 20 minutes to go, I probably wouldn't be bringing him off the bench. I'd be leaving him there and resting him up. But that is my predicted 11, ladies and gentlemen. Caoimhín Kelleher in goal, Conor Bradley at right back, Andy Robertson at left back, with Ibrahima Konate and Virgil van Dijk in the centre-back positions, with Wataru Endo in midfield, Alexis McAllister and Ryan Gravenberch ahead of him, and then Mohamed Salah, Cody Gakpo and Lucho Diaz. That is my guess at an 11. Of course, we want to know your thoughts in the comment section. Again, massive love and thank you to our sponsors, Fantasy 5. Don't forget, scan that QR code on screen or use the link in the description and you will help us get £1 for charity for each one of you that signs up to play the game with our code. It is a gambling product, 18+, begambleaware.org is of course there for all of your tools. And we will chat with you soon. If you're watching this early on the Friday, we'll be back tonight at 8:30 for a late night agenda. If not, we will hopefully see you on Sunday for the watch along, where fingers crossed we get to finally answer that question. What does a Virgil van Dijk trophy lift look like? I know I want to find out, and I'm sure you guys do too. Until then, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.